role of youth in building the nation. So this is very important topic. So actually you all know about this, but it is like some brainwashing or brain exercise for you to attend this presentation. Okay. So now the group can start your presentation. How many of you are there?
83, ma'am.
Okay. ಅಲ್ಲ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ?
members, ma'am.
In group 14 members. Okay, just a minute.
Yes, ma'am.
Recording in progress.
Okay, as I told, good afternoon students. Today's topic is the role of youth in building the nation. So the group is ready with presentation. 14 members are there. So all 14 members will be presenting one by one whatever they have prepared their slides on. Okay, over to the group now. You can start your presentation.
Okay. Very pleasant afternoon to everyone present. At this point of the time, when sun is descending from its peak point, after completely casting its half luminous radiance, we group 3 students are here to chill you guys with our presentation. Our topic is role of youth in nation building. Myself, Divya, I have been shouldered the responsibility of giving a brief introduction to the entire presentation. With regard to our group consists of 14 members and our group members are Basalingappa, Chaitanyam, Chinmayashri AS, Chirantana Kishore, Deepthi TL, Dhanush AR, Divakara BP, Ganesha H, Harshita N, Hemant Aradhya, Hemant MJ, myself Divya, Nagaraja Nayak, and Sahadev. So friends, youth is the spring of life. It's the age of dreams and discoveries. It is at this age revolutionary thoughts crop out and a kind of uncertainties and confusion envelop. Someone has rightly said, today's youth are tomorrow's leaders. The vision of any country lies in the hands of its young generation. Youth are the true assets and treasures for any country, more particularly for countries like India. Next slide. United Nations considers all individuals between 15 to 24 years of age as youth. And also coming to Indian population, more than 30% of Indian population is constituted of youth according to the latest survey. And Indian youth contribute to more than 34% of India's gross national income. So friends, there are youth organizations which are headed, formed, and also initiated by youth themselves in order to empower youth and also to address the problems of youth. And it is a very good moment for all of us to commemorate that during the 2019 February.
What happened, Chirantana?
I'm sorry for the inconvenience, ma'am. So friends, it is a very good moment for all of us to commemorate that during the 2019 Pulwama attack, students all over the country have contributed economically to support the country, and we have acted as supporting pillars. Like we have contributed some amount of money, which was all this initiative was taken by youth organizations themselves, and some of the famous youth organizations are All India Youth Federation, Akhil Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad, Indian Youth Congress, and this Indian Youth Congress is predominantly found in all parts of the country. And history always remembers some names, some legendary names, and it's a very proud moment for all of us to tell that amongst these legendary people, it is youth we top the list. Example, Ansar Ahmad Sheikh, Roman Saina, and many more. And these people have cracked the UPSC examination in the very first attempt. UPSC examination is considered to be one of the toughest examination in our country. With this, we can truly know what the youth possess that potential. However, during the course of presentation, we will be introduced to many more such iconic, eminent youths who have inscribed their names in the pages of history with their remarkable contributions in their respective fields, and also stole the limelight from the country because of their intellectuality and also their work. And friends, we can't think of anyone's sphere where youth haven't participated or contributed. They have played a massive role in almost all sectors, be it politics, research, working in multinational companies in aiding in technology advancement, or in entertainment industry. That is, they have even contributed to film fraternity or social service, anything. Practically thinking, with the available amount of time with us, it's truly impossible to focus on all these sectors. So we will be shedding light on only those sectors which are of critical and paramount importance, like administrative services. Administrative services have become the biggest burning sensation amidst today's youth. The very word itself evokes or passes a unique kind of exuberant electric spark in each nerve of the youth. And also, we will be focusing on society. It is undoubted and obvious that youth are the indispensable part of our society, and they contribute like in environmental protection, in maintaining the communal harmony and whatnot. We will also be shedding light on business, politics, agriculture, education, and research. So, friends, my job ends here, and now I request Divakar to continue the presentation.
Very good initiation by Chirantana. So you have prepared well with good facts and figures. Very good.
Thank you, Divya. Good afternoon, friends. I am Divakar. Today I am going to share about what is the role of youth in business. Good afternoon, friends. I am Divakar. Today I am going to share about what is the role of youth in business and also information technology for nation building. Before going to the topic, we understand the relationship between youth and nation building. For example, without bricks, it is impossible to construct a building. In the same manner, without youth, it is impossible to build a nation. How bricks play an important role in the construction of building. In the same way, the youth play important role in nation
Switch
building.
on your video. I should know who is the student. Yeah.
And then coming to the business. Here are some important roles of youth in business. They are employment opportunities, youth entrepreneurship,
Any problem?
Divakar.
If you have any network issues, if you switch on the video, once at one glance, you switch on and switch it off. Okay.
Sorry, friends, because of some network problems issues there. Sorry, ma'am.
It's okay. You can continue.
Yes, ma'am. Next, developing skills and innovation. Youth entrepreneurship also helps to develop new skills and promote innovations and reliance in youth. And third, main important role in youth in business, this is ability to adapt the changing market. Young people equipped with business activities are better able to navigate the challenge of today's rapidly changing market. In handling business, there are some problems. It may be loss and any damage. They have ability to change. Their ability to change for changing in the market also. Then important tool in stimulating the regional economy. Entrepreneurs brings about benefits not for himself or herself, but for the municipality and local regional also. And then resolving problems. Ability to resolve the problems appear in business activities. It may be loss or any damage, and then any problem, any problems they have ability to resolve. These are the roles of youth in the business activities. Here are some schemes for youth to start up business in our country. They are Atal Innovation Mission, Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana, Startup India Scheme, eBiz program. Startup India Scheme is a very important, well-known program for the youth to start the business. And then Atal Innovation Mission is also it provides some loans and then provides training to youth to start up the business in India. This is all about role of youth in business. And then we move on to the next point, that is information technology, that is in IT sector.
Okay.
There,
good presentation by you. Okay.
they are cloud security. Cloud security can be configured to the exact needs of the business. Cloud security consists of set of policies, controls, procedures, and technologies that work together to protect cloud-based systems, data, and infrastructure. And then integration architecture identifies, publishes, and communicates statistics, technology, standards, frameworks, principles, and roadmaps to be used through the information technology. And third one is metadata design. Metadata summarizes the basic information about the data making, finding, and working with particular instance of data easier. And fourth one is web service security. Data protection and non-repudiation sensitive data, exposure security, misconfiguration. These are the functions that my main role for youth information technology. This is about the role of youth in business, and these are schemes for youth in information technology to start up some information technology schemes. They are Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, first one. Second one, Vishweshraya PhD schemes for electronics and IT. These are the schemes in India for the youth to start up information technologies. This is the role of youth in business and information technology. Thank you. Now I request my friend Dipti to continue.
Agriculture related, have you not collected?
Ma'am?
Agriculture related schemes, agriculture, Ministry of Food Processing. There are many schemes.
Next, they continue, ma'am.
Oh, they are continuing. Okay, good. Okay.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Deepti. I'm going to present on the role of youth in society. About 34.33% of our population is represented by the youth. So their role is very important in the nation building. So, a progressive country like India needs a developed society, but our society needs plethora of changes. I believe that youth can really revamp our society. Next slide. Preserving our rich culture. Indian culture encompasses varieties of traditions, rituals, and also beliefs. Despite this pluralism, we all are one, we all are Indians. But today's youth, it is the prime time for them to realize that globalization stands for inculcating the social values rather than disregarding them. Cultural bankruptcy in a society is a setback for its progress. During Middle Ages in Europe, many societies faced cultural bankruptcy. Due to this, there were downfall of many kingdoms. After that period, the European societies witnessed rapid transitions. So preserving our culture is of immense importance. Rural and community development. About 70% of Indians reside in rural areas. So their upliftment is a big step towards the development of our nation. Youth can start NGOs, self-help groups for the empowerment of rural community. They can also, through these platforms, they can also conduct skill development programs for youth, also rural women, to make them economically independent. And also, they can familiarize the new technologies that can be used to improve the standard of living of rural areas, and also educate them on the policies and also the facilities provided by the government. Mature and a sustainable society. Okay, volunteerism during crisis. Next slide. Volunteerism during crisis. As the future of our country, youth have a major role to play during a crisis. Okay. As the future of our society, youth have a major role to play during a crisis. As volunteers, they should try to resolve the problems. Of late, we have seen youth volunteerism during COVID-19 pandemic. Many youth volunteers were involved in distributing essential commodities to the needy and also spreading awareness about this epidemic. Next. Mature and a sustainable society. Changes in societies are inevitable. A society will develop if it gets accustomed to the rapid evolutionary changes. I believe that youth are the vital forces in social movements. When youth contribute their ideas into resolve a problem, they bring about differences in the lives of others. Social evils like gender inequality, untouchability, child marriage, and also dowry are the hurdles for the advancement of our society. During COVID-19 pandemic, more than 10 million child marriages have been taken place. Youth should address these issues and also raise awareness among the public. Youth should be audacious enough to unequivocally condemn the illegal acts like corruption and exploitation, harassment. We should question if the government's policies are not pro-people. Gender equality indicates the maturity of a society. It's the duty of youth to respect the other gender, and also so that everyone gets equal opportunities and everyone will contribute for the development of our society. Next. Abstinence from drug and alcohol abuse. About 14.6% of Indians are addicted to alcohol and 12.6 lakh people are drug users. It is worrisome that many of them are youth. You should know the adverse effects of these narcotics and should stay away from these. And also they should encourage everyone to stay away from drugs by conducting awareness raising programs. Drug-free society is a need of ours, as it is very necessary for maintaining the health of individuals of the society. Next. Peace and harmony. Peace and harmony are considered as the essential factors of human life. In India, we come across one or the other conflict every day that may arise due to the differences in their opinions, beliefs, and also in economic status. But it is unfortunate that many of them are youth. Youth are falling prey to these cheap tricks of antisocial elements. These conflicts can be subsided by developing a sense of unity among youth. It is the responsibility of youth to maintain peace in the society. Because continuous disputes in the society lead to anarchy, As a result, there will be disturbance in the whole system, which is not really ambient for a country's development. Terrorism and Naxalism are the threats to humanity as well as to our society. But it is unfortunate that many youth are being associated with these terrorist organizations in eastern states and also in Kashmir. In 2020, almost 131 youth joined different terrorist organizations in Kashmir. But in 2019, it was 117. The numbers are increasing. Youth should have conscience and should not participate in such anti-social and also anti-national activities which are hampering India's growth. Next. Youth organizations. Youth organizations are the non-profit and non-governmental organizations which work for youth development. They conduct skill development programs for youth, and also they are involving youth in addressing many social as well as environmental issues. They also offer internships to develop volunteerism in youth. There are many youth organizations in Karnataka. Some of them are, next slide. Youth for Seva, Youth for Parivartan, Let's Be the Change, Yuva Brigade. In 2020, the Karnataka government bestowed Rajyotsava Award on Yuva Brigade for its social service. Next. Fill the brain with high thoughts, highest ideals. Place them day and night before you, and out of that will come great work. We all know that Swami Vivekananda is an inspiration to millions of youth. So let us work for the betterment of our society. Let us be the change. Thank you. I request Sahadev to continue.
Good presentation by Deepti.
Thank you, ma'am.
Slides also you prepared, or who prepared? Slides are very good.
Ma'am, Chirantana, ma'am.
Chirantana, good applause for her.
Thank you,
Okay,
ma'am.
we can continue.
Good afternoon to all. Myself Sadev. My subtopic is importance of youth in politics. What is politics? The activities associated with the governments of a country or a area, and also in other ways. In politics, a order is the authority governed by a constituency to act as its representative. Politicians can also be criticized for becoming career politician, a politician who makes politics the source of their income. If does all the political activities comes under the social activities?
Can you switch on your video?
Okay, madam.
I am recording. I just want to know who is this student. Okay.
Does all the political activities comes under the social activities? If any decision taken under the government, for their implementation, political authority will be required. Political authority is different from other social authorities. Is our political system really democratic? What kind of democracy is this when a majority of population below 40 elects a majority of people above 60 to power? Are we really satisfied with the way of our country is being governed? Should it not be bother us that at the age of people generally retire, our politicians actually become eligible to be at the harm of affairs? Why is it that the people below 50 years are considered juvenile in politics? Next slide. India has a large productivity and young population as her asset. There are few things which I would like to suggest. Retirement age, literacy, criminal background. As for the youth of our country, they can contribute in more ways than just contesting in election. Much can be done in areas like educating people, raising awareness about the various social ills, and many other areas. Next slide. The country desperately needs some young leaders who personify energy, enthusiasm, morality, and diligence. No doubt we have progressed a lot in the last 62 years, but the development pace would have been completely different had some young torture bears led this process of development. Next slide. India has many youth, but they're not interested in participate in politics because there is some reasons. Like reasons may be that young people are not getting opportunity to prove themselves, claiming that they are not equipped with the experience to participate actively in the governments of the country. Old people should realize that the proper development can be take place only when they make a way of for younger people to take control of the activities. Next slide. And another this also a reason for the why youth are not participating in politics. Although there is many youth in India, they are not understanding what they are doing and how their country is being governed. The youth of modern India are aware of the problems of our country and the world are facing and large. Giving a chance, they would be ready to change the political condition of the country for better. Next slide. We put the blame on the government and the elected members whenever we see the or feel that our representative aren't doing their job efficiently, but more than 50% of the population does not take part in the political process of our country. Thus we have no right to blame anyone except ourselves. We all feel that the system needs to be changed, but we do not want to take responsibility on our shoulders. Next slide. Be practical, do the impossible. 4 decades later, it may be added. If we cannot do the impossible, we better prepare to face the unthinkable. Thank you for giving this opportunity.
What you are telling is correct. You should be practical. You should not blame others. Yes. As you told, majority of the population in our country, it is around 66% of the population is youth only. Okay. So there are many practical things that has to be thought. Okay, you can continue.
Hello.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Chirantana Kishore, and today I am here to speak about role of youth in agricultural development. India is an agriculturally dominated country. The primary occupation of villagers is still agriculture. India has 600 million young people, and more than half of the population is under 25 years of age. Despite the large number of youths, few are choosing agriculture as their livelihood activity. In the present scenario, the interest of youth is declining towards agriculture. This noble profession of agriculture is taking backseat due to decrease in profit when compared with total cost of production. Keen interest and contribution of youth, especially rural youth, towards agriculture is must for the prosperity of agriculture sector in the country. Why youth? What is the need of youth in the agriculture sector? India, both before and after independence, has witnessed the emergence of youth as a political force, and to reckon with it, the involvement of youth in national development activities is necessary. This is felt significantly relevant because of the boundless energy and innate idealism. Based on a recent report from the World Bank, by 2050, half of the Indian population will be urban. At the same time, it is estimated that the percentage of agricultural workers in the total workforce will drop from 58.2% in 2001 to 25.7% by 2050. Few studies have shown that only 20% of youth of rural families are directly engaged in agriculture as a source of employment, which is an indicator of grim situation of agriculture in future. Aging farmers and waning interest of youth in agriculture is becoming a prime concern in India. The involvement of youth in agriculture is vital as they are more energetic, productive, and receptive to new ideas and advanced technologies. Youth can evolve innovative way of farming, keeping in view climate change and other seasonal abnormalities. Rural youth, by blending traditional as well as modern agricultural technologies, can bring revolution in agriculture if properly supported by government policies. Besides, they can take risks and go against the tide, which is badly needed in the farm sector. Agriculture requires both brawn and brain in addition to enthusiasm and enterprise, which only youth can provide. Why are youth not interested in agriculture? Clearly, the modern youth are disenchanted with agriculture and are shunning it as a profession. Let us look into a few reasons why today's young generation is not interested in agriculture. Like their urban counterparts, the rural youth are also looking for better career and growth prospects, which they do not foresee in rural areas. The failure of development programs and policies to make farming profitable and adequately improve the quality of life in the rural belt has added to the youth's aversion to agriculture. The other causes of outmigration of youth are shrinking landholdings and increasing population, paucity of innovative ideas and technical know-hows, inadequate access to finance, absence of efficient marketing, limited involvement in decision-making process and policy matters, and most importantly, poor image of farming as a profession is discouraging the youth to choose their career in the field of agriculture. These issues need to be addressed immediately and holistically to motivate the youth to take up agriculture. So, what can be done in order to entice youth towards agriculture? The realization of the need to sustain youth interest in agriculture has come about rather late. To harness the potential of youth and to take the benefit of demographic dividend holistically, Government of India has announced multifarious schemes. These schemes are based on the principles of social inclusion, gender equality, and sustainable development of rural areas. Unique program of the Indian Council of Agricultural Research (ICAR) called ARYA, that is attracting and retaining youth in agriculture, was launched in the year 2015, under which each area of the country will train about 250 to 300 youths in agriculture and its related occupation. To steer these programs in right direction, a roadmap has recently been formulated in a conference in New Delhi on motivating and attracting youth in agriculture. The mooted strategy aims basically at preparing the youth to become employment providers and agents of change rather than employment seekers. Also, it is an urgent need to take crucial reform measures in agriculture sector at ground level to make agriculture as a source of employment. This can be realized by promoting agriculture-related ventures such as dairy farming, bee culture, mushroom cultivation, sericulture, pisciculture, etc., along with crop cultivation. More practical approaches need to be taken for sustaining the interest of rural youth in agriculture, such as formation of self-help groups, farmers clubs, commodity interest groups, etc., and the linkage with different banks, mainly NABARD, for financial support at low interest rate for starting various agriculture-related enterprises. Proper marketing facilities need to be created in rural areas so that farmers may get maximum return of their produce. Agricultural economists should come out with new marketing models or should recommend necessary changes in existing marketing structure. As per a report of WHO, there will be 6 out of 10 persons living in cities by the year 2030, and this situation will result in acute shortage of manpower doing agriculture related jobs. In order to overcome this, government need to frame policies by keeping the needs of rural youth in consideration. Youth will be diverted towards agriculture profession if it becomes economically attractive. Agricultural extension personnel role is very crucial in this regard as they are not only to make rural youth aware about the existence of new agriculture and rural development schemes, but also to guide them how to take benefit from these schemes. Most importantly, we have to bring a change in attitude and thinking of youth that profession of agriculture can also provide them respectable social status. Thus, it will not be wrong to say that future agriculture development will depend upon the contribution of youth, and for this to happen, agriculture occupation has to be made regarding and profit-oriented activity. Thank you. Go green, save agriculture, and respect farmers. Over to Ashita.
So very good information regarding agriculture, ICR, Arya. You know, Arya is started from our university. Then it is taken as a role model for all other states. Okay. So it was actually started by Dr. K. Narayan Goda. So he was our ex-vice chancellor. So he had initiated this Arya, whatever you have presented, no? It was initiated in our UAS Bengaluru. Okay. So this is for your information.
Thank you, Chandra. Good afternoon, everyone.
All of you are listening, whatever I told about Arya?
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Akita. I am going to speak about the role of youth in education. Youth are the most important and dynamic segments of the population in any country. It is believed that developing countries with large youth population could see tremendous growth provided they invest in young people's education, health, and protect and guarantee their rights. Increased attention to improving participation rates of young people, particularly marginalized youth, is needed to ensure that they acquire the knowledge, capacities, skills, and ethical values needed to fulfill their role as agents of development, good governance, social inclusion, tolerance, and peace. Education is the most impactful thing you can give to a person. Not only does education inform people about the variety of important subjects that will help them later on in their life with a career or give individuals the skills to interact with others in a community. Education also has a variety of widespread effects in communities such as a decrease in poverty, an increase in health. It closes the gender gap and promotes economic growth. Not only does education help the individual person, but it also helps community dramatically. According to the article, the positive impacts of education is becoming one of the most important factor to a person's success in today's society. Whether a person is living in poverty or among the wealthiest in the world, education is necessary to advance in any situation. So, therefore, education also necessary to the advancement of communities. As Dr. Swami Vivekananda says, education is not the amount of information that is put into your brain and run beyond that, undigested all your life. What makes one man great and another weak and low is Shraddha. Arise, awake, stop not till the goal is reached. Some of the highlights of education are listed on the screen. 10.6% of the world's youth, that is 15 to 24 years, are non-literate. And in India, literacy rate is at 75%. Kerala has achieved a literacy rate of 93%, and Bihar is the least literate state in India with a literacy of 63.82%. But not least, education is important in eradicating the poverty, hunger, inclusive and equitable economic growth, and sustainable development. Increased efforts towards education, accessibility, quality, and affordability are central to the global development. Now I request Chinmay to continue. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Myself, Chinmayshri AS. Today, I am here to present about the role of youth in nation building through administrative services. Administrative service is highly attractive and smoldering thing for the youth of our country. While it is great to be in administrative service as it commands instant recognition and respect and paves the way to contribute towards nation building. Administrative service predominantly refers to Indian Administrative Service. IAS is the administrative arm of All India Services. Considered the premier civil service of India, the members of Administrative Service serve the Government of India as well as the individual states. Every year, around 180 IAS officers are recruited among 11 to 12 lakh candidates into the civil service examination. Civil service examination conducted by Union Public Service Commission, which is termed as the toughest examination of our country, paves the way for becoming an IAS officer. Next slide. Every recruited IAS officer fall in the age group of 26 to 28, which tells us that all the freshly recruited are the part of Indian youth. These young IAS officers serve the country by assisting the administration of our country. Young IAS officers treat their occasion as a mission to bridge the rich-poor and urban-rural divides and become proactive change agents in building a new India. As being the emerging power, by their efforts, initiatives, and personal steps, they are contributing for nation building. They are building our country by facing the challenges related to stability and security of India, restoration of law and order, social, political, and economic equality. Next slide. Narendra Modi, the current Prime Minister of India, compared the civil servants to the fourth lion of our national emblem, which is hidden. It remains invisible, yet makes its presence felt at all the times. Thus, the IAS officers serve the country without showcasing their sacrifices. How these young IAS officers are contributing towards nation building. They work for the welfare of the country and its poorest section, and they keep themselves connected with the ground realities and always rely on innovation of solutions. IAS officers at the levels like Joint Secretary, Deputy Secretary make their contribution in the process of policy formulation and decision making and give final shape to the policies. In the initial years of the subdivision and district level posting, they get to interact with the poorest of the poor and also get the scope and opportunities to understand their issues and bring substantial change in their lives by extending requisite help and support, by thereby contributing nation building by developing the poorest section.
The picture who is that in the previous slide? Who is that IAS officer?
Ma'am, he is Ansar Ahmad Sheikh. He is the youngest IAS officer of India.
What's his age?
Ma'am,
21, ma'am.
22. Oh, very good. So very good information you have compiled. So it is like one example for all students to pursue this IAS service in your future also. So many of our alumnus are serving right now, okay, as IAS officers. You may be knowing, okay. Yes, you may be knowing, or you will get information about that also. One of your senior is DK Ravi. He had served in Kolar. He is from Chitradurga. He was from Chitradurga. So like that, there are some other IAS officers also. Even those things also you can have it as a like inspirational notes for you. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you can continue.
By monetary poverty alleviation schemes. All poverty alleviation schemes are monitored by them, and the effectiveness of the implementation is entirely dependent on their approach. They are responsible for the improvement of social infrastructure. They build the social infrastructure by providing quality education, healthcare, and nutrition. Being the linchpin of administrative setup, they play an important role in the good governance. They ensure greater participation of weaker section by sensitizing the people about the benefits of various innovative schemes of our country. They act as growth driver for the employment generation and create conducive ecosystem to address poverty issues through employment generation. Curbing corruption.
Who is this lady, Chirantana? Who is this lady?
She is Vishakha Yadav. She's All India rank 6 in civil service examination 2019, ma'am.
2019. Okay, Vishakha. Oh. Even right now she is serving in administrative service?
Yes, ma'am.
Where?
Ma'am, no idea.
Okay. Anyhow, good. Yesterday, I just read one. I just watched one TED Talks by Surbhi Gautam. You know,
Yes.
she is from
Yes.
Madhya Pradesh.
Yes, ma'am.
She studied exclusively Hindi medium, okay, till her 10th standard. She was not even able to understand or, speak English fluently, okay, because she was from Hindi medium. So yesterday I just observed her TED Talks. She had some problem also, rheumatoid fever. She had some nervous, little bit medical problem was also there, but she overcome all those things to get her admitted in this IAS. Okay, I think she is in Indian. She was in Indian Engineering Services also before joining IAS. She got seat in BARC, that is Baba Atomic Research Center in Mumbai. So there are many options. Only you people have to open your eyes. Okay. Yes, you can continue.
Next slide. Curbing corruption. Corruption is a termite that has eaten the vitals of the society. As being the role model of the society, these IAS officers hugely influence public behavioral patterns in masses. Corruption is a major stumbling block in developing countries like India. Huge scams siphon away the money that could have legitimately gone towards education, healthcare, rural infrastructure, etc. IAS officers play an instrumental role in curbing corruption. They also spark the wave of enthusiasm among the villagers, and they are combating the issues of child marriage, unemployment, smuggling, corruption, building in India. How the initiatives taken by the officers transformed many lives. There are many dedicated IAS officers who have made the country proud with their brilliant initiatives. They produce a massive impact on the lives of people. The person in the picture, he is Rahul Sankanur. He is from Karnataka. He secured All India rank 17 in Civil Service Examination 2018. Next slide. Let's look over some of the officers who have impacted our country. Muhammad Ali is an IAS officer of Kerala cadre. He made Kannur India's first plastic-free district. He focused on phasing out plastic carry bags and also promoted handloom bags as an eco-friendly alternative, thereby helping the weavers and encouraging small-scale industries, and made Kannur India's first plastic-free district. Bhupesh Chaudhary is an IAS officer of Mizoram cadre. He helped to increase farmers' income by 14 times. He used an array of government schemes like Rashtriya Krishi Vikasa Yojana, MG Narega, and Mission for Integrated Development of Horticulture to build an infrastructure for the storage and processing of agricultural produce. He organized the farmers into self-help groups and formed a cooperative society to establish market linkages. Harshika Singh. She is an IAS officer of Madhya Pradesh cadre. She started all women schools for dropout girls and unlettered women. Many Gram Panchayats in her cadre had positive negative sex ratios, as many households gave birth to 6 to 7 daughters with a desire to have a son. To combat this discrimination, she pledged to bring about change by starting all women schools across 35 Gram Panchayats and transform the lives of older women and girl dropouts. Aditya Ranjan is an IAS officer of Jharkhand cadre. He transformed 650 Anganwadi centers. He selected the untended Gitilipe Anganwadi centers as his target, and he established model Anganwadis in that state by spending a sizable portion of his salary. He has also launched commendable initiatives, mobile laboratory, digital literacy workshops, and increased the number of healthcare centers. Sandeep Nanduri is an IAS officer of Tamil Nadu cadre. He launched a cafe which is run exclusively by differently abled persons. He formed a self-help group comprising of people with disabilities. He helped them to enroll in a free 45-day training course in cooking, catering, and baking, and helped them to open a cafe. He boosted their confidence, and he pulled the bank to give them loans to start their own ventures and thereby solve the issues of disabled persons. Avnish Sharan is an IAS officer of Chhattisgarh cadre. He sent bike ambulances to tribal doorsteps, reducing the medical cost by 90%. Tribes couldn't afford the huge transportation costs that they were asked to pay to avail health services and private vehicles. He launched a series of bike ambulances known as Sangi Express, that is Friend Express, which impacted more than 5,000 lives of tribes. Ashish Singh is an IAS officer of Madhya Pradesh cadre. He helped to clear 13 lakh metric tons of garbage from 100 acres of land. Indore of Madhya Pradesh bagged first rank in Swachh Sarvekshan for 3 consecutive years till 2020. The city got 1,000 marks for using bioremediation to transform a 100-acre dump site that lay a pitiful state with 13 lakh metric tons of waste. Ramesh Golap. He is an IAS officer of Jharkhand cadre. He rescued 35 children from forced labor. He organized a scheme called Sarkar Aapke Dwar, government at your doorstep. He rescued more than 35 children from forced labor and enrolled them into the school and helped them to avail all government benefits. He also assigned himself as the guardian for few orphanages. These officers proved to be innovative and flexible change makers in the time frame. Their efforts have been stirred a large-scale impact on the various fields from education, health, child labor, unemployment to corruption. They have done it all. Let us salute these young heroes who have done all they could do to make our India better. Our pride for our country should not come after our country becomes great. Our country becomes great because of our pride in it. Thank you. I request Hemant MJ to continue the presentation.
Good motivational presentation for all students, I think. No? From now only you can also start aspiring some higher positions like that, whatever now student has mentioned. I wish you all the best for this. Yes, you can continue.
Good afternoon, pals. I'm Hemant MJ. So I am here to present on the topic of role of youth in nation building through science, research, and technology. So before taking a direct leap into our topic, let us know something about science, research, and technology. So science is a knowledge of facts. Science is the subject which really got an ability to answer every question that strikes to your mind. So science is the only subject which really got the power of subsuming one's interest. Even often, scientists compare science with a treasure hunt game. Here, they think treasure as the answer to every individual question. And if you come to the research part, research is a systematic investigation on anything which is conducted to draw accurate and perfect results. And a technology is the implementation of a scientific knowledge to daily life, which is achieved via research. By this, we can conclude that science is a practice, research is a process, and technology is the implementation of output. Next slide. So, and I think it is literally necessary to...
Can you just scroll the previous slide?
Ma'am?
Previous slide. Yeah. Science, research, technology. Okay, you can continue.
I think it is literally necessary to know why we have to work in as well as work on science. So if you go to the pre-colonial era, Great Britain was considered as superpower nation. In the 19th century, USSR was considered as a superpower nation. Now, USA is considered as a superpower nation. Even most economists do believe that within 2075, India has a greater possibility of becoming a superpower nation. So by this, we can conclude that a nation, to show its caliber as well as the existential status, development in science is a main thing. So I think we have all heard of this slang, as you sow, so you reap. So it is very important to embed the interest of science and to encourage youth to pursue their entire career in science. Next slide. Involvement of youth in research will increase the greater possibility of decrying innovation. So by decrying innovation, the innovation can make someone's life easy, simple, better, and cost effective. So there is a economic slogan that if each individual develops, then the whole nation will develop. So adjacent to it, we could find a picture of Puzzle Startup. Puzzle Startup is an innovative startup started in our Bengaluru itself by its CEO Ananda Verma, along with his fresh newcomers from Yamtech Agri. So required for your crops and how much manure you have to put to your crop, and as well as the possibility of your crop getting affected by pests. So if you just go to the statistics, it had helped to save more than 60% of a water than a regular one, and even it has infused more than 40% of the profit of individual farmers. And if you come to the second example, the world's smallest satellite was created by 12 students in Tamil Nadu itself. Its name is Kalamsat V2, which was launched by NASA. So, please next slide. So, yes. So the word real science came into trend when Sir Albert Einstein used. So he was work was used in creating atomic bomb. So I think we all know that how much atomic bomb vandalized our world in World War II. So understanding real science in youth is really necessary. If they understand real science, it encourages them to undergo for a sustainable lifestyle, like decreasing the utility of plastics by treating effluents before releasing to water bodies. By treating effluents, we can save aquatic life as well as the water bodies, which are really considered as a national wealth or national resources. In the first picture, you could see the heap of the wastes collected by Malhan Kalambe, who is of 21 years old. He is a Mumbai resident. He had pledged to clean entire Mumbai beach areas. In the second picture, you could see the picture of edible water bottle. We could even call it as a capsulated water bottle. It's an innovative idea.
Edible water bubble, not bottle.
What?
Okay.
The name given by the company, it's
You can continue.
oh, okay, thank you, ma'am. So yeah, it's edible water bubble. So it's encapsulated water. So the capsule is prepared by mainly of Phyophyceae or a brown algae. So if you just implement this to our daily life, we can really we can really decrease the utility of plastics. And adjacent to it, we could see the picture of edible cutleries. So in America and other European nations, at the end of every year, there used to be billions of tons of plastic cutleries. So it's an innovative idea by our Hyderabad-based company called Protecting Our Environment. Can you please switch to the next slide? I think implementation of a nanotechnology and robotics has enormous benefits in the field of defense and military. Means it can even increase the caliber of the nation. So nanotechnology is known as technology of tomorrow. I think it is really very important as to work on it. And if you come to the live example of the present scenario involving final year MBBS student entity COVID patient, itself shows the importance of the role of youth in nation building. So, can you please switch to the next slide?
One more nanotechnology has come now, like applying urea to crops. Okay. So physically, farmers are applying fertilizers. No, so now with the advance of nanotechnology, so now just a 500 ml bottle can be used by the farmers. Just 1 ml they have to mix with so many liters of water, and that can be applied to crops. Okay, so that is one of the technology of our university, agriculture related. So that also you can explain if you want. Okay,
Okay,
can include few slides. related to agricultural innovations also.
This slide. So in this picture, you could see the great personality called Roosevelt. He is one of the great politician of 20th century. He is even considered among one of the 3 greatest presidents of US, along with Washington and Abraham Lincoln. He's very famous for his labor laws and economic revolution in USA. So on addressing youth in the topic of nation building, he said like this: we cannot always build the future for our youth, but we can build our youth for the future. So I think it's really important and to contribute to our nation. So let us combine our dreams, work on it, and let us bring our lost golden glory of our nation. So at last, I'm going to end my presentation by saying Viva India. Thank you, one and all.
Okay, good efforts by group 3, no? This one is.
Yes, ma'am, group 3.
Okay.
Ma'am,
So conclusion is there. Okay, you can continue.
So friends, the journey of our presentation ends here. We all hope that we have added at least few bricks of knowledge to your building of knowledge with the topic role of youth in nation building. On behalf of all our group members, I thank Dr. Samshad Begum ma'am for giving us such a wonderful opportunity at the very tender age of our life. And I also thank each and every youth who have participated in this presentation, be it presenting or listening. And we promise you, ma'am, that we would take all your suggestions very seriously. And every sunset is for a new sunrise, every silence is for a new surprise, every ending is for a new beginning. So we would end our presentation promising you that we would come up with much more energy and exuberance if provided a chance in any course during our stream. So friends, wishing you all to complete your incomplete day with complete smile on your face. Signing off, group 3 students. Thank you one and all. Jai Hind.
So very good presentation by group 3. Improvement group by group. So there is lot of improvement with this group. So I wish you all the best. Today's presentation is very, very, very inspirational, motivational. I think for all students, you have to take this as a model to build up your future. There are many options. What you can do is only you should have some aim and goal in your life. You have to dream. Okay, you have to dream big. Okay, if you dream, you will be working to achieve that dream. Okay, so I wish you all the best. Even I will be signing off now. Thank you, all group 3 students.
Thank you, ma'am.
Have a wonderful classes like this in future also. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am.